Hello, hello. I think we're live. Yes, sir. Welcome back to the airplane show on this beautiful Sunday morning. November. I don't even know what the hell day it is. November 5th. Damn, it's November 5th already. That's crazy shit. This year went by very quick. If you're an old man like me, you know these days go by very quick when you get older. That's for sure. All right, so what we're going to do today is fly from Seattle to Calgary in a BAE-146 using the Canada Jazz livery. Let's go ahead and create the flight plan first. Welcome to the airplane show on this Sunday. My name is Greg, and I like to play a pilot on the internet. I like to play one in real life, but never went to pilot school. I don't know if it's too late for me or not, being as old as I am. Might be a little too late for me. It's a lot of money also. A lot of money to go. I think it's like $100,000 to, like, if I was going to become a commercial pilot, I think it's like $100,000. So, all right, so we got KCA and we got CYYC for Calgary. And we are flying in the bay. Actually, which bay is it? I think it's the 146-200, I think. I think that's what it is. Let me check. Nope. Change aircraft. I think it is the 200. Yeah, 200. Okay. All right, so we got that. And yeah, 1 hour and 40 minutes. Yeah, I guess that's about right. All right. Now, I've never flown to Calgary before, so I have no idea what to expect, but I expect good things. All right, so we got this is now generated. I'm just going to let it choose the runway for now for the landing. If that doesn't meet our needs, we'll come back and change it. But let's generate the flight first so we can look at it in Navigraph. And then in Navigraph, we can then go ahead and see if this runway meets the type of landing that we need to do. So I think we need to do an ILS landing with this particular plane because it doesn't have the capability on the VNAV to set the correct RNP for the landing. So I'm sure an ILS landing or a localizer type of landing be the best bet for us. If you didn't check out the show yesterday, we did a 7:37 flight in the morning from Dallas Fort Worth to Miami, early morning where it was dark at the airport, and then we took off during sunrise. And then last night we flew the brand new old plane to Microsoft, the Mitsubishi Heavy Industry MU2. We flew that from Honolulu to Maui, and we tried to use the ILS, the localizer capability for landing. It tried to land us 5 miles away from the airport, even though the flag for the glide scope was completely lined up and correct. So we disconnected the autopilot and landed it ourselves. We made a soft, buttery touchdown last night. If you didn't check that out, you need to check it out because that was soft and buttery. All right, so let's see here. So we got a few different choices for landings here. So we can do this ILS where it looks like we'll hit this last waypoint and then make a big U-turn for a final, which is fine with me. I don't mind doing that. Let's check out, just for argument's sake, let's check out and see if this other runway is available for, let's see here, approaches. Yep. All right. Yeah, see, that's coming in from the wrong way. And ILS 35 I mean, we could do that one, and we'll just swing around this way. But let's just stick with the original plan that SimBrief built. So we'll do the ILS 29, and we'll do that final, and then we'll just do what we've done before, which we do all the time in Aerofly, where we just finish the standard terminal arrival. We'll use heading mode. We'll go out. We'll make sure that the glide scope flag is well above where it needs to be on our indicator. We'll make that U-turn back towards the runway. And then we'll activate approach mode and let everything do its thing. All right, so we are all set in here. So let me bring this up on my iPad. So I has it. So I have it during our flight. And let's go ahead. We're going to unload. We'll unload that. Yes, sir. All right. We're going to unload. Let's close this. And let's bring up this here. And let's go ahead and, oops. Whoops. All right, now we got that screen there. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, Skeeter, let's go ahead and change this livery. I could have sworn they had a Alaskan airline livery, but I guess they don't. All right, so we got the correct airplane, we got the correct livery. Let's go ahead and get to Seattle Airport. Now we're taking off from runway 16 left today. It's down here. It's down here somewhere. There's Vancouver's. There's Seattle's. I was thinking about doing a flight from like the John Lennon Airport in United Kingdom to Innsbruck, in Austria, but it's getting really dark over there, and I'd rather do if I could have landed the plane like during sunset, I think I would have done that flight over this one, but it's already like really dark over there, so I'd rather do a flight where we're taking off during during sunrise. Where is this dang airport? There's Boeing. Acacia. Here we go. All right, and we're doing 16 left. All right, so we got that. Let's, I guess we'll set up our plane maybe over here. Ramp 193. I guess we'll do like this. Here, we'll do gate C15. I like that one. Oh, that's small. Let's see what this one says here. Medium. And 9. D5. All right, we'll do D5, and then we'll just back up with our nose to the right, and then we'll come out between these two buildings and then go up. All right, let's do that. All right, let's get in this airplane and get it set up. Let's get it fired up. Fire this bitch up. I like flying this airplane a lot. It's a bit of a learning curve over some of the other airplanes, but it's a lot of fun. All right, 6:29 a.m. So the sun should be coming up pretty soon in Seattle here. So if we get this timed right, we should be kind of taking off right around sunrise. I think it's pretty cool how you start with a flashlight. I like that. All right, let's I never knew you could like lock and unlock the... Alright, well, you learned something new, I guess. Alright, the thing to put the yoke away is over here. So let's toggle that. Get rid of the yoke for now. Let's get some of this stuff done first. Alright, so we got that brought in. Alright, METAR information is okay. You can click on this button here. Alright, let's go to aircraft. Let's get ground power connected. We're going to import from SimBrief, so that should set pretty much everything up according to the OFP in SimBrief. Let's see here, total fuel 5,082. Yep, that's correct. And our weights, gross weight 36. 4, yeah, that's pretty dang close. Pretty dang close. All right, let's do one thing now before we, because this is always a pain in the ass to do. If you've seen me with this plane before, you know what I'm talking about, but like getting this to work, I'd rather put this in now than later. So for our ILS landing, 4940 is the capture point for the glide scope. So actually, let me use my mouse and see if that makes things easier. I have never tried my mouse with this airplane. Because usually what happens is you get stuck. And like you'll try to click on this and then you wind up getting stuck, and then you have to click one of these sync buttons to unstick your cursor. It's really strange. Well, the mouse works really good, actually. Usually when you try to click on that keyboard, it clicks on everything behind it. All right, 4940. Now, and what we'll do is once we get up to our climbing altitude, we'll then click on sync on both here and here. We already have the angle of descent is 3, which is fine. It'll then calculate how many miles it'll take for us to get down to that altitude there, so that'll be good. All right, so we got that set. We can come back here. All right, well, I'm glad that works like that. That's good. That's good. Good job. Let me exit. You still have to click sync. That's so stupid. All right, let me check settings real quick. All right, clock local time. Theme. What kind of theme they have? Oh, they got light and dark, I guess. All right, very good, whatever. All right, let's come back here and set our lights. So when we turn everything on, the lights will be kind of set already, and we can always turn them down afterwards. All right, left floodlights, instrument lights, and instrument lights, and floodlights. And up here we got panel lights and instrument lights. All right, let's bring up the checklist. I've started this plane up a good amount of time, so I kind of have everything memorized in a way, but I like using the checklist anyways to make sure we don't forget anything. All right, weather, let's make sure that's at 15 degrees. So you can just click it all the way over until it stops. That'll put it at 15 degrees. All right, we know the landing gear is down because we're on the wheels. Let's make sure the transponder is in standby, which it should be. Yep, it's in standby. All right, those are up and out. All right, no smoking sign on and nav lights. No smoking and nav lights. So I'm clicking on it and then using the right trigger on my controller to move those forward like that. All right, let's now turn on the batteries. Some of these buttons you can just double click on it. All right, let's make sure the voltage is okay for battery 1. Yep. Battery 2. Yep. All right, now let's turn on the AC power from the outside. And since we activated our light switches already, all the lights are now on, you know, where they need to be. All right, parking brake, yellow, and park is down here. So yellow and park, yep. All right, let's turn on all the master switches except for the yaw dampener. So autopilot master, avionics. All right, ground switches we don't need to do anything with. Ground ignition, I mean, that's both right now A and B. We can leave that on. Anti-skid, let's make sure that is on. All right, that is on. All right, lift spoilers yellow and green. This says green after here, so let's make sure those are on. All right, AC and DC bus tie both on. Those are down here. There's an AC and DC here. That's for your hydraulics. The electrical ones are right here. So let's turn those on. Arm the standby inverter, arm the standby generator. All right, 1 and 4 are both off. Those are down here. Here and here. All right, galley and shed switch the galley. That's done. All right, and before we finish this, let's get our flight plan put in before we start burning fuel. So I don't think there's a way to send it from here. Yeah, there's not. You can bring up the OFP in here. If you have a mouse, it's much easier to navigate this screen here than using, see how I'm hovering over here and it's got, this is lit up in blue. But if you have a mouse, you can really zero in on it. And then you can scroll up and down the web page, you know, the page here. It has METAR information, so it has the pressurization from inside and outside. And then you have your summary here. So, all right, let's come up here. And we're gonna pose in it first. We always gotta pose first. All right, so we're all set with that. There's really not a whole lot of options with this management system. Not as much as a lot of planes that are out there that are available in this simulator. So, all right, so we have KCA. Actually, let me use my mouse here. That'll be a little easier than that. Oops, I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to. All right, KCA. All right, KCA to C. YYC. Alternate is, let's see here, CYEG. Edmonton is our alternate. CYEG is our alternate airport. Key not active. That is beautiful. Good job, Just Flights. Our flight number is HO123. All right, let's set our departure first. So we have 16 left. and we have C8. There's no transition with that. So we'll click execute. Now let's come back here to flight plan. Let's go to next. And let me bring up the flight plan here on the OFP. And here, let me show you what I'm looking at. We'll try to do it here with the mouse. So if you go to this thing here, all right, so I'm getting ready to enter this information in here. So I put 16 left, we got SIA. Then I'm gonna put in, Alps, YDC, Menbro. Norit is the transition, so I don't think I need to type that in. But yeah, that's where I get that from. And then here's all the weights, in fuel and cargo. Here's all the waypoints and what altitude we should be at. Now it says 31,000 feet. I'm not taking it to the max. I'll take it to 25,000 feet. I'm pretty comfortable there with this plane. I know it can technically go up to 31,000 feet. Maybe we'll do it. I don't know. I doubt it. And then if you see my other videos and you see me enter the winds in of descent and all that, that is right here. So that's where I get all the winds and all that. And on the very top of this page, the very top of this page has usually the info that I get for like the cruise winds and the cost index and all that. So, all right, let's go to summary here. And you can see even with the mouse, it was still picking up all kinds of stuff behind us. So, all right, so after CO, we got Alps, ALPSE, ALPSE, I believe, yep, ALPSE. All right, we can execute that. Then we have YDC. After YDC is Menbo, so MENBO. And it has little boxes around the directions, east, north, south, west there. So for some reason. All right, and now we can do our arrival. So let's go back to departure, arrival. Let's click arrival. We're doing the ILS 29. And this is the standard terminal arrival, the IG VEP 6. And Norit is our transition. So now that is set. Let's go to legs. It's very strange. Let's look at this takeoff here. Oh, it's not even like a real takeoff. There's like, I'm looking at the chart, there's like nothing to do on this chart. All right, well, let's get rid of the vector. Execute. All right, very good. Leg wind, index, data link. Yeah, we can't really use data link here. All right, status, that's fine. That's position, frequency. ILS 29, okay, that's okay. Let's go back here. Let's go back to index. And I'm not worried about setting a fix with this plane. There's really nothing to set a... Well, I guess we could do KCA and do our 25 miles out. Let's see if we can do that. All right, KCA. Key not active. Interesting. So I guess we can't set a fix. All right, we learned that. Program. Okay, VOR. Okay. Well, I guess we're good then, because there's not much else to do in here. I think it's the ATR that I'm thinking about, where let me stop using the mouse and use the controller here. Yeah, I'm thinking of the ATR. The ATR has screens, so okay, all right. I thought there was a way to have it show like the top of descent and all that on that page there, but there isn't. So, all right, so we got all that done. The FMS is now programmed. Now we can finish setting up our plane. So next up is turning on the APU generator. So let's turn on the APU generator. Let's turn on the left inner fuel pump. All right, we don't need to do that because it's a simulator and we know it's going to work. All right, let's go to APU start. Once everything stabilizes, which it will, we will then go ahead and turn on our APU packs. The APU air and the APU packs. All right, so let's turn on the APU air. And packs 1 and 2 on. All right. That's all good. All right, arm the cabin emergency lights. That's right here. So let's arm them. All right, we don't need to ground test that. All right, DC pump on, yellow brake pressure. All right, DC pump on. Let's check the brake pressure. Yep, yellow is okay. Here's yellow, here's green. Now let's do the other one. Now we can turn this back off. All right, let's set this to on. All right, green is pressurizing. It pressurizes up here. All right, that's good. We can turn those off again. All right, that's good. Now let's arm the flight deck emergency lights. Those are right here. Let's put on both yaw dampeners. All right, that's done. There's no oxygen mask that I can check, that I see, but the main valve, which is probably associated with that last step, the valve is right here. So if you just double click on that, then it sets the oxygen flow to on. All right, so we are done with that. Let's go to before start. Yeah, we are all set with our departure briefing. As we already set that, let's make sure the radios are turned on. So let's go to this one first. Let's turn you on. Let's turn you on. Why isn't this lit up? I wonder where this light switch is. Nope. Ah, here we go, glare shield. Alright, so here's the first radio to turn on here. Yeah. And where's the dial? Here we go. So push that button in, that turns that one on. And power on here. Now those are both on. Brake pressure above 2500, which it is. It's really dang close. All right, we know all the hydraulics are off. All right, we're just up at the hydraulics center. All right, fuel center transfer auto. That is, now it's set. All right, ice detect, we need to turn on, that's over here. That's on. Let's put on the fasten seatbelt signs. We're good with fuel. There's no reason to check it, we already set it. Flight data recorder, that's down here. Now this is an old school data recorder, right? So we can set the day, we got the month already. And we can put the year if you want. You know, let's click on it and do 2023. Now, the only way I've known to get it to at least not give us an error, like leave the warning up all the time, I just click on every button on this section here. So I'll click on this, and then I click on this, and then I click on that, and then I click on that, and that usually gets rid of this warning here once we start taxiing. All right, let's set our altimeter. I don't like how this is stuttering. That is not good. METAR, so it's 2986. And that set it for the whole plane, which is good. All right, push this reset button. All right, make sure that's off, and doors and equipment closed and removed. All right, N1, N is off, okay. All right, next up is the engine start. So let's back out first. go over here to aircraft and make sure our parking brake is on, which it is. All right. And why are you stuttering so much? Jesus Christ. All right, let's turn off the AC power. You see how it's like stuttering? It's crazy. It shouldn't be doing that. All right, let's get rid of the ground power. Let's get rid of the chocks. Let's set up our backup, and then we'll back up completely, and then we'll go ahead and turn our engines on after that point. So we need to go through those buildings there, I believe. Let me turn our beacon lights on. I don't know why it hasn't asked for that yet. I think it asked for that right before we start, but I'd rather have something flashing while we're backing up. All right, so with this system here, you can't, I don't believe you can choose two directions at the same time. So let's now turn our parking brake off. So that's off. You can also tell it's off because the yellow pressure is down to 0. And let's click on the backup button first. Oh, we can do two directions at the same time. I stand corrected. Very good. As you can see, the sun is starting to come up. Maybe if we were a little quicker or we started this flight a little sooner, we could have taken off during this, but we'll be up in the air probably in the next 15 minutes. We're almost done setting up the airplane, and then we can taxi and take off. So starting the engines on this plane is pretty easy. There's no glass cockpit in here really, so there's no digital anything to follow for our flight. It's all analog gauges, which is fine. All right, I think we're good. We can click cancel. Let's put our parking brake back on. The parking brake is back on. Now we can close this out. We can go back home. Let's bring up the chart for our departure, which is really not much of a chart, but Seattle 8 departure. As you can see, when I said before that there's not much to look at, here's the chart. Like, that's it. There's really not much to look at. So, all right, let's bring up the checklist for the starting of the engines. All right, beacon light is on. We got that. Now, I'm not going to check off this page because it's a pain in the dick going through all of these things here. So, all right, let's turn the PAX and the APU off. The APU air off, not the APU itself. All right, these are off. That's good. Let's put all the fuel pumps on. So we already had the inner one on. So let's now do this, that, and that. TMS is off. Yep, our TMS system is off. All right, here we go. Let's fire up these engines. Okay, engine start power is normal because the button's in the middle. Let's turn on that to on. Let's turn this to number 4. And let's click on that and then click the right trigger. We gotta wait for N2 to get up to about 10%. And we can click on this. Oh, hello, love. Why didn't it, Oh, I gotta turn the engine anti-ice on. Give me a second. Let's put you back down. And let's try this again. There we go. Now we're rolling. Sorry about that. Forgot to do the anti-ice. So while these engines are firing up, we can do the next one when these green ignitions go off. So now let's do a couple of things ahead of time. So we need to make sure our flight directors are on. So that switch is here. That's flight director 1. That's flight director 2. And then we also need to make sure our nav is set properly. So we got to set it so it says R nav here. This other nav switch down here is for like VOR and localization and all that. So let's do that on both sides. So it's R nav. So now we are set for our actual flight plan. Now let's go to engine number 3. Click on this button again. Now that's lit up in green again. Let's go down here. Once N2 gets to about 10, we can then click on the fuel. All right, that's all good. Let's set our altitude. We got to get rid of that. That's why it's not showing any kind of altitudes right now. All right, let's go to number 2. Little mini 747. I think that's what they call this plane. All right, let's get rid of that vector. All right, now it's showing altitudes very good. Okay. All right, very good. All right, let's do engine number 1, and then we'll be all set with the engines. All right, engines are all set. We can go to the next page. I do want to set our altitude. Let's just set 25,000. And now that the engines are on, we'll go up, back up top, and we'll set the cabin pressure for this trip. So we're going to go here, and we're just going to click on this and bring this to about 25,000. All right, that looks good. All right, now we can turn all this off here. So start power is normal. We can turn these both off. All right, engine anti-ice, we can just leave that alone. Let's turn on generators 1 and 4. Brake fans, I guess we should maybe click some of this stuff off here. All right, start power. Tick, 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 tick. All right, brake fans should be good. Nope, they're not. Let's set them to auto. All right, engine hydraulics, let's turn those on. We can put our flaps down. And our nose wheel will turn. All right, both auto and on for these, so. All right, yep, those are good. All right, let's turn on all the heaters. That's right here. It's a lot to do to set up this airplane, that's for sure. All right, let's turn back on the APU, air, and the packs. Engine air off, we'll turn that on once we start our climb. All right, TMS mode needs to be on. So we can turn this on. We can do takeoff. I never mess with any of these reference settings. I just, whatever they're defaulted to, I just leave them. So you can certainly do what you want. It's your flight when you play it. For my flight, I'm going to leave them the way they are. All right, let's turn on our transponder. I think that's correct. Yep, all right. Let's turn on taxi lights and then brakes, and then for takeoff. And that's all testing stuff. Weather will turn on later, landing lights, TMS. Okay. So there's really nothing else we need to do after we start. It looks like all that's good. We just got to turn the regular lights on, and we got to make sure that before we take off that the continuous relight is on for ignition A and B. We'll turn on the weather radar, even though I don't think this plane models I don't think it models that, but all right, well, let's turn on the yaw dampener switch while we're thinking about it, so we can get rid of that icon. And we can turn off the ice protection right now. All right, let's, it'll tell us if it's icy. All right, landing lights. All right, taxi lights. Let's go down to taxi lights. And beacon, strobe, we can do wing lights and logo lights. And now let's put our flaps down for takeoff. So one click down. And we are good for taxiing, my friends. Let's turn off the brake. All right. Sometimes it needs a fair amount of juice to get rolling. Sometimes it doesn't. Didn't need it today. All right. I did a flight in New Zealand, and I almost had to put the plane on. I think I was leaving Queenstown, and I had to almost give the full juice to the airplane to get it to move. Like, it was crazy. It was somehow, so I don't know. It was like it was like almost like it was stuck, and I had to rev the engines up almost all the way to get moving again. Let me set my camera position that I like. That's left bumper and the B button. And I believe there is a toga switch. Maybe not. I thought there was a toga button. Maybe that's the ATR I'm thinking of. I do that often. I get very confused between those two planes a lot, like with the functionality of what they do and the buttons and all that. I haven't flown them a lot. Each of them I haven't flown a lot, so I get very confused between those two planes from time to time. Could have sworn there was a toga switch, but I think I'm wrong. I know there's a takeoff. Maybe it's built into this system down here. But one thing we didn't do yet is set our V speeds. When we get to the holding point before the runway, we'll set our V speeds. That's very easy. We just need to click on the chart. Not the chart on our left, there's a chart down here we'll click on, and that'll set our V speeds. And then when it gets time for landing, we'll click on it again, and that'll set our VREF speed and all that. Air Canada Jazz, a little mini 747 on a Sunday morning. I wonder if we were sitting at the airport right now, if the clouds would look just like this or not. I'm sure they would look similar. I got live weather and live time turned on. That way, you know, the barometric pressure plays a role into what we're doing. All right, still 2986. All right. We are about there to our runway. Maybe we'll try the fast forward feature on here on the flight, maybe. I've never done it with this airplane, so I don't know how Microsoft and all that will operate with this. So, all right, let's slow down. Slow down. Jesus Christ, I'm hitting the brakes, but nothing's happening. Good Lord. All right, let's put on the parking brake. Jesus Christ, I was mashing the brake button. All right, let's put on our landing lights. Runway lights. Strobe lights. And let's do LNAV. And let me make sure there's nothing else we need to do. Oh, I know we need to do continuous A and B. I remember that. Let me do that. And we need to turn the weather on. So let's turn weather on. Do weather there. Warming up. All right, very good. And range, we'll set the range for like 50 miles. Does that say parking brake, brake fans on? Yeah, we got it, buddy. The flight recorder will turn back on once we start moving again. All right, now we got continuous A and B on there. Weather radar, landing, TMS, flight controls are good. All right, after takeoff, landing gear up, TMS sync, engine air on, APU air off. So we got to turn the APU air off, turn the engine air on, and then sync the TMS. And then we'll do something else for climb. So, all right, very good. All right, well, let's get up in the air. Oh yeah, we got to click our V speeds. That's right. So let's click on here. Now we're all set. So it looks like V1 is around 125 maybe. I guess that's VR, or V2 maybe, I don't know. All right, let's go. Let's go, let's go. Turn off the parking brake. And we'll do, the climb mode we'll do is probably IAS. Once we get to around 250 knots, we'll do that. It's not very easy to adjust some of these things once you're in autopilot mode. All right, let's roll, bitch.
TMS set to take off. Power set and watch it. Speed alive both sides. 80 knots was checked. V1. Rotate. V2. Positive rate of climb begin.
Alright, let's put our flaps up. So I just put our flaps up. Alright, let's do what we gotta do. Let's click autopilot and let's click IAS for now. And we need to click sync, I know that. And we need to turn the APU air off. Oh yeah, we need to turn on the engine air. Right, there we go, that's good. We are climbing. Alright, let's set this to, let's go to our climbing page and then we'll, alright, let's set this for VS. And let's lower the nose down a little bit so we can gain some speed. And then once we get to 250, then we'll go ahead and once we get to 250, then we'll click IAS mode again. Alright, let's set these to off. And let's set this to climb. Getting closer to 250, let's lower this down a little bit. Then we'll turn the engine ice on. You know, the engine anti-ice on. Let's do that. Let's turn landing lights off. We're getting close to 250. All right, we're close to 250. Let's click IAS. Now we should be good for the remainder of our climb around 250 knots. Very good. Alright, we are all good. I thought we had to turn the APU off, actually. Let me check this here. Yeah, APU air off. Yeah, that's what I thought. APU stop. Let me turn this off. I thought we had to turn that off. Well, not off, but at least stop it. Alright, we already turned those off. The altimeters we'll take care of shortly. Let's hide the yoke. Why is that flashing? Alright, that's all good. Let's go to our arrival and pull up the chart for our approach, and we'll just leave that sitting there. Let's go to top of descent calculator. We already got that programmed. Now we can click sync and sync. There we go. Alright, let's set this to standard. Alright. We are all good, my mans. What's up, Anton? Hope you're having a good Sunday. I don't know what my Sunday's gonna bring. I gotta pick up my daughter at some point, and then my mom wants to see us today, so I don't know what we're gonna have to do about that yet. I don't know if we're gonna be driving up there or meet her for dinner. Hopefully we'll just meet her for dinner. Man, they got some. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Did you see that thing stutter? I wasn't even touching the controller. That's crazy. That's been doing it a lot this morning. It's been stuttering like that. Oh, the autopilot turned off. What the fuck? How does the autopilot turn off? I wasn't even touching anything. That's crazy. Crazy. I wish you could have the capability on Xbox to sync your telemetry with Navigraph. Because Navigraph has this awesome feature where it'll actually take your flight from your simulator and show its like true airspeed and all the outside settings, and it'll show you. I mean, it's amazing what it can do and calculate, but there's no way to download the software on the Xbox. You can only do it on PC. So it is what it is, but what ifs? You know, what you gonna do? We kind of know when to start our descent in these airplanes. You know, that rule of 3 is kind of universal, where you take the net altitude and multiply it by 3. Well, divide by 1,000, then multiply by 3, and then maybe add 10 to 20 miles to that. We're almost at our altitude. Now, since the autopilot kicked off before, I'm very leery that this is actually going to stop where it's supposed to. And then once we get to 25,000 feet, come over here to this TMS system, we'll click on target, the TGT button, and then we'll reduce the throttle to keep our airspeed somewhere around 280 knots, or 0.65, 0.7, 0.67, something like that, for you know, Mach numbers. Alright, so YDC is 113.9. Let's program that in here. And let's put this one on nav mode, and we'll switch you to nav 2 there. Alright, it looks like this is going to level off. Alright, so we are at 25,000 feet. Alright, it says altitude there, so now we can click the target button. We can click sync. So now all the engines are going to sync to the number 1 engine. And now we have to lower our throttle so our speed doesn't get above like 280 knots. Well, it looks like 310 might be the warning symbol, but all right, and we need to be on a 27-degree course. All right, which is what we're on. Very good. We have 92 miles to get to YDC. Pretty close to our cruising speed. Let's lower this down a little bit. And we probably could take this thing up to 31,000 feet, but I've never gone over 25,000. I mean, we're close. We're well above any structure that we're going to come in potential contact with. I'm lowering the speed a little bit at a time. I'm just tapping on the B button until we can kind of retard the speed. Let's increase a little bit so we're not losing speed. A little bit of a balancing act to find the sweet spot where you're not really speeding too fast and you're not slowing down really. Alright, set it there. We're good. So we got 80 some miles on that leg, and then 175 miles on the next leg from YDC to Menbo. So I'm thinking about seeing if we can speed this bitch up a little bit. You know, Microsoft has that feature. Let's turn the seatbelt signs off. So it's been a pretty good flight so far. Pretty good. We need about 63 miles to descend to our target altitude. Let's go to the chart. Let's blow this up a little bit. So we are picking up over here. I think, let me see here. Almedo. We're at Pisbo. Alright, so by the time we get to IGVEP, we need to be 13,000 feet or lower and a max of 230 knots. So we got a decent amount of time for that. That's should have the miles. Let me bring up the chart on here. Looks like it's 8 miles for each section. Alright, so we have 8, 16, 24, 30. So what I'm looking at here is there's an 8 here. So there's a few sections. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 32 miles between the transition to IGVEP to get down to 13,000 feet. So 13,000 feet, 13 times 3, 13, 26, 39. Oh, okay, so we have, yeah, so we're about 12,000 feet different right now. So 12, 24, 36. So I think if we start our descent to 13,000 feet, if we start at like 10 miles before this point here, we should get to 13,000 feet by then. Oh, wait a minute. Runway 29 is 16,000 feet. Okay. So we have a little bit more time. So we need to go 9,000 feet. 9, 18, 27, plus 10 is 37. So about 5 or 6 miles before Norit, we'll start our descent. Whoa, look at those mountains. That's cool as shit. I don't really fly into Canada too much because I think their dictator is a douchebag. So I don't really like flying into Canada because of that, even though it's a simulator. But I love Canadian people. I just don't like their dictator. He's a complete tool bag. I don't like getting political on the flight, but man, he is. I think he's Fidel Castro's son, actually. I don't know if that's still like being talked about or not, but at one point they were like, they being like the media, were like showing all kinds of pictures like of the two of them. They almost look identical at the same ages, and I think that is his son, actually. I think it's been proven, which makes sense. I mean, you know, he does kind of look like Fidel Castro. All right, let's try the speed up feature and see what happens. Let me go to control options and look at that again. No, controller, not mouse, dork. I think the mouse is off. Yeah, mouse is off. All right, so we have hold in R and push up. All right, let's try that. Now, let me see. I need to find something that I can reference for the time. All right, so we have the clock there. We'll just have to remember how many clicks we did. So let's try this. So push in R. Why did it zoom in? Alright, I clicked it once. I hope it doesn't crash the plane. Because this thing is very touchy, especially with the plane bobbling around a bit as it is. Yep. Look at that. It crashed the simulator. Ain't that some bullshit? Well, I guess that ends the airplane show for now. Maybe we'll do one later. Well, while I got your attention, let's do a race in Forza. So, oh my God. Why? Why? See, I told you. I told you I didn't want to do that. I did it and it crashed the dang simulator. We'll do a flight tonight. We'll do like an A320, or maybe I'll buy the A330 or the 767. Maybe we'll do a whole new plane tonight. I can't believe it crashed the damn thing. Let me show off some of my cars that have been so I got some designs that are sitting out there that have done pretty well. Let me see how to bring this up here. Design and paint. All right, yeah, let's go to my design. So this one here has had 54 uses, 27 downloads. That looks just like the Le Mans series cars. That one there. That took a long time to do. I'm proud of that one. I like this Toyota one. This one took forever. This Gran Turismo Honda S2000, that bitch took me like 4 hours to do. This one's pretty cool with the paint job. That Audi one is pretty cool. I like this Ford a lot. That's good. This Porsche looks really good. I got a BMW that's done pretty well. This one's the flame of Anor, which if you watch the Lord of the Rings movies, you know that Gandalf is the wielder of that flame. So on the back of this car it says Gandalf's Ride. This one's Speedy's Gas. This Golf R took me a long time to do too. That one looks just like one I found online. There's a GTI race car that looks very similar to that. And then this BMW one is pretty cool too. Got a Ferrari. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's just do a race. All right, let's go back to career. I cannot believe the fucking thing crashed. Let's I don't think is this the Golf? Oh, yeah, this is the Honda. All right, let's do the Honda one here. So we don't have anything left to do for performance. Let's check our tire pressure and see if we can better the brake distance. Nope. There we go. I don't think it increased it by much though. Oh yeah, no, it's not worth it. Okay. All right, let's go to continue. Let me type in the chat that the flight crashed. MS 2020 crashed on my Xbox Series S, so I'm now racing on Forza. Alright, let's go to car. Let's lower the weight of our car a bit. Man, I'm so disappointed that that thing crashed. That was a pretty cool flight. Like, the mountains were cool, the clouds looked cool, we were doing good with the cruising, but speeding that bitch up crashed it. I can't believe it. I don't know why it crashes so much. I downloaded it. It's not like I'm streaming it anymore. You know, it'd be one thing if I was still doing it like off my iPad and I was streaming it. But I mean, I downloaded. It's downloaded to the Xbox. It's crazy. I can't say it's exclusive to Xbox. I've had plenty of things crash on my PlayStations too. I remember when Construction Simulator came out, like I think it was like a year ago when the new Construction Simulator game came out. That thing crashed like 400 times in the course of a month. And it still crashes from time to time. Usually that game will crash on the PlayStation when I'm fast traveling to a location. I've been really enjoying this Forza game. I haven't done too much with race car games, but this game has really surprised me. I didn't really know much about Forza because I've never had an Xbox really. I mean, I had one like 20 years ago when it first came out, and then after that I've just had PlayStations. And ooh, are we gonna get the? Yeah, we got the bonus on the first lap. That's what I'm talking about. So I never really paid attention to Forza because I could never play it, so I never watched like anything on it or saw anything about it. But then once I got the Xbox for Microsoft, the only reason I got the Xbox was so I could do Microsoft Simulator, the flight simulator. That's the only reason I got the Xbox. If that simulator would have been available on PlayStation, I would have never bought an Xbox. It might be cheating to leave these lines on, but I don't care. You can say what you want. You can play your game the way you want to play it. I'm going to play mine the way I likes to play it. And I like having this line on. I like it a lot. It's the last lap of our practice, and then we'll do the actual race. Yeah, I got this career going, and then I have another one where I'm using a Toyota Supra from years ago. I got another one with some sort of Holden race car from like the 70s, I think, or the early 80s. I got one with Foxbox body style with SVT Mustang Cobra. I got another one with the Volkswagen Golf R. And then what I've learned to do is, if I don't feel this car is adequate enough or fast enough or souped up enough for the race that I'm doing, I'll go into free play and race there. And one nice thing about this game, which is awesome, is that you can quit the race and it still keeps all your XP and all your upgrade, like it'll keep everything for you. So you don't lose anything by quitting. But yeah, I found a Gran Turismo S2000 online and I thought it was really cool looking, so I tried to mimic it the best I could, but Forza didn't have all the right components to put together that GT sign correctly, so I know it doesn't look exactly like it, but it's pretty dang close. This car is pretty close. Alright, what difficulty do I have this on? 3. And I'm still slated to get 2nd to 4th? Well, I want to get 3,000 or more points on the podium, so we're going to leave that there and hope we get first place. Let's do 15. Let's start on 15th spot. It says we're going to get 3rd. I think we're going to get 1st or 2nd. If you're just tuning in, today's broadcast, there was a bit of an error in the studio. Not my studio, Microsoft studio. Microsoft does not like you to fast forward the simulator when you are flying the BAE-146. That thing crashed the simulator very quickly. So tonight you can tune back in for regularly scheduled programming. Regularly scheduled flight programming. I didn't realize until this morning. Whoa, bitch! Whoa! I better not. Okay, good. I'm like, I better not get any kind of seconds added or warning for that, because I didn't start that crash. That crash I did. But yeah, we'll go ahead and do another flight tonight. We'll figure something out, because it's tough for me to do those during the week with working full time, and then, you know, I'm kind of drained mentally after work, and then sometimes I have stuff to do after work, so I need to find a way to scoot myself in between some of these cars and not get a penalty. I don't have that many laps to make up time. Alright, so far so good. Yeah, the first lap is kind of hairy at times with all those cars. I'd be more inclined to try to scoot past them earlier, but they give out penalties very easily, very quickly. They give out penalties in this game, even if you slightly touch a vehicle. Hold on, I got a phone call coming in. Hello. How are
finished. Mid-Ohio is a challenging old-school circuit that has retained much of its original design and character from 1962, while including recent refurbishing, producing a more competitive racing experience for drivers.
All right, I had a phone call come in. Not you, Gavin. Alright, let's we'll finish this race and I'll turn the stream off. We got the bonus on the first lap, that's good. Oh, let's rewind. This racetrack's a little tough with this particular vehicle. Doesn't seem like we're going that fast, but I think we're going pretty much as fast as we can on this track without losing control. All right, let's try that again. Yeah. What?
Soda.
What soda?
Okay.
It's empty.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, I don't have any soda. Get one later when we go out. Okay. Damn, just over. Whoa, car. I better not, thank you. I was gonna say, if I got a warning for him hitting me, we were gonna have words, me and whoever I need to talk to. Uh, 0.2 of a second. All right, let's do this race and then we'll reconvene tonight. Hopefully the simulator won't crash tonight. Wow, really? 4 through 6? Well, let's leave it there because I always like to get more than 3,000 points when I make the podium, so. Last race I was slated to get third, I got third. Usually those estimates are pretty accurate. You know, what, let me have a gripe about this simulator. One thing that bothers me about this simulator is that all these liveries that are on these race cars, these are all what they call drivatar drivers. So it's like avatars, like, you know, AI drivers. For the life of me, I cannot recreate some of these liveries. Like, I don't see how to do it with the stuff that they have available. Some of these I do, but some of these, like, I do not know how they do it, and it bothers me because, like, some of these liveries are pretty cool, and I don't see the stuff to how to do it. Some of them, at least, like some of the designs they have, and yeah. Anyways, there's me. Hello. I mean, it hasn't stopped me from making up vehicles, and it hasn't stopped me from doing stuff. It's just I see certain things in here, and I'm like, man, I can't do that. All right, let's get this race. What's it, 5 laps, 6 laps? 5 laps to get her done. A little bit of a change going from that S2000 to this vehicle with braking distance. Jesus Christ. Thank you for not giving me a penalty when none of that was my fault. If I could be up by like number 6 or anywhere between 5 to 7, place number 5 to 7 before the end of the first lap, I think we'll be set up in pretty good shape. Because once we get past, you know, this little grouping of cars, we'll really be able to open up our vehicle. So our vehicle usually is quite a bit faster than the rest of the vehicles on a straightaway. It's just there's not always a lot of straightaways available. Hey, I'll take that. So we're in 4th place. We got 4 laps left. And now that we're past that little grouping of cars, we don't have to worry about people banging into us and slowing us down. Now we can just concentrate on overtaking one car at a time. So if we can get one car on each lap, we should finish 1st place. But we don't really have any room for errors. Thank goodness there's a rewind tool to help us fix our mistakes. Sometimes it helps. Sometimes it just doesn't matter. Like now. God, this car is so much different than the last car. We should be able to overtake this car before the end of this lap. If we can't, as long as we can get it by the start of the next lap, we should be fine. I'm trying to slip in underneath him like this. Hold on, car. Damn it. That damn brakes. I'm trying to slip in right before this turn so I can get into this turn a little bit before him. There we go. Now we're in 3rd place. We had a good split. Alright, now we have 2 cars in front of us. Now that first car is almost in turn, what's that, turn 2? Turn 3? But we got plenty of laps to catch him. This is a difficult racetrack to do from inside the car because of the dips and the ups and the downs. This is usually my favorite camera position here. With every car, it seems to be my favorite position. Alright, 2 more laps. Doing pretty good so far. We've almost caught up to the second place vehicle. Boy, that's a tough turn there, that big turn there. Alright, 0.2 of a second slower in that segment there. That's not good. Very close to catching up to this second place car. Well, what I've noticed is, like, I'll catch up to the second place car and I'll just get close enough to overtaking the first place car by like the end of the last lap. Sometimes I can get them. Obviously, if I turned the difficulty down, it would make it easier, or if I started closer to the front, it would make it a lot easier. Because that first lap is crucial, but when you get banged into by all those different vehicles, it really slows you down. Come on, Mitch. Alright, so we were 1.5 seconds faster there. Man, I cannot catch this vehicle. And there's first place there. I mean, come on, let's go, guys. Alright, we got second place now. Comfortably. And we just need to catch first, which I think if we had one more lap, we would be able to do it. That's why that first lap was crucial. I thought if we were up by number, anywhere between 5 and 7, as far as our spots, I thought we'd be able to catch first place by. But no, doesn't seem like. If I had one more lap, be able to catch him. It's alright, we'll take second place, it's not bad. We still get our podium bonus. Wow, 6 seconds faster. Wow. Alright, well, I'm still in the lead, but wow, I got a good chunk, a good lead on the rest of the crew. Alright, that's gonna do it for now. I will check y'all out later tonight. We'll do something tonight. Maybe we'll do Liza P. We haven't done that game in a long time. Maybe we'll do a little bit of that game. I haven't played that game in about 2 weeks now, and which is surprising. That game's a lot of fun, but I'm gonna sign off here. I got shit to do, people to talk to, trying to figure out how I can see my mom today without being, well, I'm not gonna say it. Anyways, see y'all later. Thanks for tuning in. Sorry about the simulator crashing, but it wasn't my fault. Wasn't my fault. I was doing everything I was supposed to do, and I guess the Xbox and Microsoft Flight Simulator just didn't want us to have fun together today. So that's about it.